Dave Wilson here again. Nice to be out in the fresh air. Oxygen. I need it, you need it, and more importantly, our soldering torches need it too. But what you might not understand is that the fresh air that's all around us is actually only about 20% oxygen. The vast majority of it is nitrogen. So what this means is that when we want an intense hot flame for soldering and melting and casting, we need more oxygen. So for most of us this means bottled oxygen cylinders. Now your gas, your fuel bottles, if you get things like propane, it's actually quite easy to source this stuff because it's used for gas barbecues, heaters, camping, caravanning, stuff like that. So you can get this in small compressed cylinders quite easily. I buy mine from a local petrol station. It's as simple as that. Very easy to get hold of. But with compressed oxygen cylinders it can be a little bit harder to source. If you want oxygen cylinders, you're going to have to go to a specialist gas supplier or your local welding suppliers, and there's a couple of options. The first and most common one is that you rent the cylinder. So you rent the cylinder and then you pay for the oxygen as and when it needs refilling. So what this means is that you've got an ongoing monthly cost. So for a small studio, a hobbyist or an occasional user, that can actually be a very expensive way of getting oxygen. Another alternative, which I do, is where you pay a deposit. So you pay a deposit for the cylinder and then you pay for the gas. But again, that can be very, very expensive. I pay a lot of money on each cylinder, and if you want a couple of spares, it means that you can have a lot of money tied up in the back of your workshop. And with me, I have to take these back and get them refilled. So it's cumbersome, it's awkward, and if you've got a couple of these things lying around in your studio, it's not very convenient and you can have a lot of money tied up. So what's the alternative then? How can you get oxygen on tap? Wouldn't it be great? Well, now you can. Follow me. This is an oxygen concentrator, and what this machine does is to take normal fresh air, remove the nitrogen, giving us almost pure oxygen on tap. When you first get it, just tip it up. Be sure to remove the two cable ties underneath. They're just there for transport. Plug it in and away you go. Now the process is quite simple. It's called pressure swing absorption, and what it does is it compresses the air, and under pressure the nitrogen will stick to a filter but the oxygen passes through. The oxygen is then compressed and pumped out for us to use. So when the pressure is released, the nitrogen gas just escapes and the unit's ready to go again. Simple as that. So think of it like a sieve, sieving out the nitrogen but allowing the oxygen through. So just plug it into a socket and go. It doesn't use any chemicals, just a little bit of electricity, and we literally have high pressure oxygen on tap. This particular model is the HM5 and it can deliver 5 litres a minute up to 8 psi. So this will power my Smith Little torch and even power the large casting nozzle as well. So just check the recommended pressure for your own torch and just make sure that the unit you choose will deliver the pressure that you need. You can plug your torch's oxygen line straight into the unit, and because the unit can vary the pressure, you don't need a regulator, so there is a cost saving there as well. It will sit under your desk, doesn't make a lot of noise, and just make sure it has enough room around it, basically allow it to breathe. Switch it on and it takes just a second to get up to pressure. Once working, it will function with a steady flow of oxygen all day long. When you finish for the day, just switch it off. The unit's guaranteed for 2 years, and at 340 watts it's pretty cheap to run. It's the equivalent of a couple of powerful light bulbs. On the back it has a small air filter. This is just to remove dust and dirt coming in. The manufacturer recommends that you check this monthly, but again it will depend on how dusty your environment is. Very simple, just pop it out, clean it, put it back in. You can even wash it if it needs it. Yes, you still need your fuel, such as propane, but there are no oxygen rentals, no contracts, no deposits. So once you've got it, it's yours, and you have oxygen on demand whenever you need it. So I think for the small workshop or hobbyist, this is the perfect solution for your oxygen needs. And I reckon in a busy workshop, this could very easily pay for itself within the first year or so. So there you go, the HM5 oxygen concentrator. You really can have oxygen on tap. I've been Dave Wilson. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you real soon on the next video. Bye. Bye for now.